I had my child with me and there was something in the green room. We stopped taking her there because I could tell she was scared. She was with a babysitter at home. Do you know that bad things happen in this world and we punish them? The news about Joni Lamb, the popular host of Daystar Television, has shocked everyone in the media. It's being talked about a lot, but no one knows the truth. How did she get lost, and what does this mean for her job and Daystar's future? We will let you know more about this sad news for Joni Lamb as we get it. The Christian community was shocked today when Joni Lamb's children, Jonathan and Susie Lamb, made a huge announcement about their mother's health and the bad choices she has made in her personal life. After a period of growing worry, the Lamb family's hidden problems have finally come to light. Jonathan and Susie told everyone that Joni's health has gotten much worse, which is why she won't be on the Daystar Television Network, the Christian TV network that her late husband, Marcus Lamb, built. Fans and reporters were used to seeing Joni on TV, but she hasn't been seen in a while, which has led to questions. In a moving statement, her children have now answered those questions. Both Jonathan and Susie were very worried about their mother's health, both physically and mentally. They said that Joni's health had been getting worse quickly, which is why she had been staying out of the public eye. Jonathan says that his mother has been having a hard time, both physically and mentally. We've watched her change, and it's been heartbreaking, the release said, adding that Joni's departure from Daystar shows wasn't just a short break, but a sign of deeper health problems. At first, it was just an update on her health, but it quickly turned into something much more worrying. Jonathan and Susie were very honest about how they felt about Joni's actions over the last few years. Soon, their public statement turned into an attack on how their mother had treated her family, especially after their dad, Marcus Lamb, died. It was clear to everyone that despite how united and religious they seemed in public, their family relationship had gotten worse after Marcus's death, and it had been very hard on them emotionally. One of the main issues was how Joni's relationships with her children were getting worse. Jonathan was the first person to speak out because he had been close to Daystar for a long time. He talked about how things were getting worse between him, Susie, and their mother, painting a picture of a woman who was getting harder to talk to. According to Jonathan, the love and support they used to get from their mother are no longer there. She became cold, distant, and sometimes even mean. He then talked about how Joni's behavior had become more bizarre, especially since Marcus's death in 2021. Jonathan said that he and Susie had tried to talk to their mother about their problems several times, but their mother always resisted, got angry, and didn't care. Jonathan said she was always quick to blame us for everything. If anything went wrong, it was our fault. The more we tried to reach out to her, the farther she pushed us away. It hurts to see her like this. Jonathan and Susie say that Joni's mental distance from their family was made worse by how cold and mean she was to them. They told him that Joni was no longer the loving mother they knew her to be. The woman we used to know, who loved and helped us, is dead, Susie said through tears. The kids said, after Dad died, it was like something in her broke and she turned into someone we didn't recognize anymore. It was a dark shift that happened so quickly. The kids also talked about how Joni's relationship with Doug Weiss, whom she married just months after Marcus's death, caused stress. Jonathan says that his family felt cheated when his mother suddenly got married again. It was hard for them mentally, and as a result of her choice. How could she move on so quickly after her dad died? She never let us get better, Jonathan said, his voice shaking with anger. That hurt, he said. It felt like she was picking someone else over us. Her marriage to Doug Weiss, which was controversial, made things even worse. People in the Lamb family and the wider Christian community were shocked when Joni quickly got married to Doug Weiss, a Christian counselor and psychologist. Doug had been a family friend, but after Marcus's death, He was quickly promoted to a high post within Daystar. His name was given to everyone as Joni's new husband, and he quickly took on leading roles in the network. One of the many things that Jonathan and Susie didn't agree on was Doug's fast rise to power. They didn't understand why Doug was given such a big part so quickly. It was like she was replacing Dad with Doug, and we were supposed to just accept it, Susie said. It felt like everything we had built together and everything our family stood for was being erased. Doug had no experience with the ministry, and he had no right to take over as our father's leader so soon after he died. The Lamb family and Daystar supporters alike had doubts about how quickly Doug was invited to join the leadership team. Some people thought that Joni's choice to marry Doug was an attempt to fill the hole left by Marcus's death, but many people were upset that this change happened so quickly, without giving anyone time to mourn or think. "Mom was so desperate for comfort after Dad died," Jonathan said in a sad voice. "She was looking for someone to fill the gap, and I don't think she realized how much it would hurt us. We felt like she was leaving us for Doug without giving us a choice." A closer look at Joni's changing mood and the claims of betrayal showed even more severe problems in the family. It was said by both Jonathan and Susie that their mother was acting more demanding and manipulative. They talked about a number of times when Joni kept them from making important choices, especially ones that had to do with Daystar. Jonathan said it looked like she was trying to take us out of the picture. She made choices without telling us what they were, and when we tried to voice our concerns, she shut us up or got angry. Besides these mental problems, there were also claims of bad money management and questionable spending. Jonathan said that his mother bought expensive things, like a fancy wedding trip for her and Doug Weiss that allegedly cost Daystar an unbelievable $100,000, 0 cents. With anger in his voice, Jonathan said, "This wasn't just a personal expense. This was Daystar's money. Money that should have been going to help people, to support the ministry's mission. Instead, it went to fund a lavish vacation." It felt like a slap in the face to everyone who had supported our family and the network for so many years. These claims of not being responsible with money made things worse between the Lamb family. Both Jonathan and Susie thought that their mother had forgotten the values that Marcus had taught them, such as honesty, taking care of others, and being humble. Susie said, "Dad would never have let this happen. This wasn't the ministry he built. It's not what he stood for." When the Lamb children told everyone what they were doing, it was clear that their family was in trouble. What was once a picture of faith and unity was now a group of broken people who had lost hope. The fact that Jonathan and Susie were willing to speak out sent a strong message. It showed how hurt they were and how much they wanted responsibility and change. Jonathan said with a heavy heart, "We don't want to split up our family. We can't watch our mother keep going down this path. She's not the same person she used to be, and it breaks our hearts." Joni Lamb was once known for being a leader in Christian broadcasting with grace and strength. Now she's in the middle of a family scandal that could destroy everything she had worked for. The claims made by her children about her have put a cloud over Daystar, and fans of the network are wondering if it can get back on its feet after this public scandal. The future of Daystar is uncertain because Joni's health is getting worse and her relationship with her children is still tense. The news that Jonathan and Susie made has started a chain of events that will affect not only the Lamb family but also the millions of people who have helped their mission over the years. Time will tell if healing is possible, but for now, the Lamb family has to deal with the effects of their broken relationships and the disappointment that has crept into what used to be a strong base. In the end, this isn't just a story about a family in trouble. It's also a warning about the perils of uncontrolled power, how important it is to be responsible, and how painful it is to lose sight of the values that made you who you were in the first place. The fallout shows the horrible truth about Joni Lamb, and the Lamb family has to deal with their broken life. The drama in the family keeps getting attention from the public. In Christian media, the story of Joni Lamb has become one of the most shocking and contentious ones. The Daystar Television Network, which was once seen as a symbol of faith and unity, is now embroiled in scandal, bad financial management, and betrayal of family members. People used to admire Joni Lamb for her leadership and kindness, but now she's in the spotlight in a way that no one saw coming. The shocking things her children, Jonathan and Susie, have said about her have shown that she has lost touch with the values she used to hold dear. Some of the most shocking and upsetting facts about Joni Lamb's actions and personality have come to light as the layers of this story are pulled back. The fact that Joni's relationship with her children has completely broken down may be the most heartbreaking thing that was revealed. Joni used to be known as a loving wife and mother, but the way she has treated Jonathan and Susie in recent years has broken family ties in a way that can't be fixed. Jonathan and Susie have both said that their mother's cold and distant behavior hurts them deeply and makes them angry. Their criticism paints a picture of a woman who has grown more distant, manipulative, and controlling, traits that have turned off the family she used to love. Jonathan and Susie both said that their mother was unpredictable and hurtful to them mentally, especially after their father, Marcus Lamb, died. Jonathan told Joni she was wrong for pushing them away during her sadness, saying that she mentally shut down and stopped talking to her kids because she couldn't deal with Marcus's death. Jonathan said she changed after Dad died. The warmth and love we once felt from her went into something cold and unrecognizable. Her quick marriage to Christian psychologist and counselor Doug Weiss is one of the most talked about and puzzling things about her behavior. Many people, including her own children, found it strange that she got married just a few months after Marcus died. Jonathan and Susie have made it clear that they felt cheated when their mother decided to get married so quickly. They thought that Joni was more interested in filling the emotional void left by Marcus's death than in giving her family time and space to grieve properly. Even worse, Doug Weiss was quickly brought into the Daystar Church, which made this marriage even worse. Doug was given a big leadership role in the network just a few months after the wedding. Many people, including Jonathan, saw this as an insult to Marcus's memory. Jonathan said, "It was like she was replacing Dad with Doug. It happened too quickly and too soon, and it made us feel abandoned." There are deep and troubling problems in Joni's marriage to Doug Weiss, but the most shocking and damaging news is that she mismanaged their money. Jonathan Lamb shockingly said that Daystar, the church that his parents started, had spent $100,000, 0 cents, on Joni and Doug's honeymoon. He called that amount obscene and completely wrong, since the network gets most of its money from gifts from its viewers. Daystar's money should be going to support the work of the ministry, not to fund extravagant personal indulgences, he said. That honeymoon was against everything Daystar stands for. People gave us money because they trusted us to be good with it. But my mom spent it on a fancy trip just a few months after our dad died. Everyone in the Daystar group is shocked by this claim of financial wrongdoing. The network used to be known for focusing on mental health and outreach, but now it's in a lot of trouble, and many of its fans are wondering where their money is going. Many people feel deceived because Jonathan's criticism of his mother's spending is at odds with the values of service and humility that Daystar used to promote. Besides the financial claims, Jonathan Lamb has also said that he feels his privacy is being invaded by the Daystar leadership. Jonathan said that someone from the network's security team put a tracking device on his car without him knowing. He thought this was an invasion of his privacy and an attempt to scare him. The shocking claim makes things even more uncomfortable and makes people wonder how far the leaders of Daystar are willing to go to control their own family members. He said, "This isn't just about me. It's about how this ministry treats people, even its own family. Some people have gone too far and they don't care who gets hurt. The problems in the Lamb family have spread to the people in charge of Daystar. Jonathan has said that his mother's way of leading is bad because she is controlling, doesn't care about disagreement, and won't listen to the worries of those closest to her." He has also been angry about Doug Weiss's quick rise in Daystar, saying that his mother's marriage to Doug has caused a rift in the family and led to the organization's changing goals. Jonathan and Susie say that Joni puts her personal relationships ahead of the ministry's goal, which has caused a lot of discussion in the Daystar community. "A lot has been going on over the last couple of years that we just couldn't talk about," he said. "But we've already given all of our evidence to several reporters, including the police." This reporter called Daystar on Friday, November 15th, to get their opinion. "I was then fired the next day, November 16th. Some scary things happened. Even though we were being watched, had private agents come after us, and were threatened with violence, things didn't stop. We felt like we had no choice but to talk to a reporter. We did what you said because bringing things to light makes things better," Jonathan said. "It really felt like the Lord told me that even though I had been hurt a lot, I should stay in the role that God had called me to and not run away." Jonathan and Susie are currently at an unknown location because they don't feel safe at home. Please know that not only has Julie Roy been given all of the evidence and is writing a story that will be out soon, but it's as though she's forgotten the values Marcus instilled in all of us, he said. The most shocking part of this ongoing story may be the claims of abuse that came up at a family vacation in 2021. Jonathan Lamb says that the leaders of Daystar are trying to hide a troubling event that happened at the camp involving one of his children. Even though the details of what happened are still not clear, the claims that family issues were not handled properly have added to the Lamb family's already shaky public image. Jonathan has made it clear that he doesn't like how the situation was handled. He says that his family's worries were ignored and that the problem wasn't properly dealt with. "We were promised healing and support during that retreat, but instead it turned into a breeding ground for dysfunction," Jonathan said. "This is not what our family was supposed to be about, and it breaks my heart to see how far we've fallen. All the proof has been given to several national reporters, and as of this afternoon, they should be writing stories that will be in the news soon. If," he says, "you know what? You're the ones who have to speak. It's the harder road. It would have been easy to just walk away, but if he says, 'I'm calling you to do this,' we have to do it. It's been hard, but he has led us every step of the way and given us so much peace. So I want to encourage you, even when things look bad, God always sees the bigger picture. As long as we obey him, stand in the truth, and tell the truth, he will get us through, and I know he will. But we still need and appreciate your prayers. It has still been a hard journey. Thank you." What has made this whole situation even worse for the Lamb family is that these personal problems have been brought to light in public. The world now knows about the family's private problems, which were once kept from other people. This has had a terrible effect. Joni has found it hard to deal with the public criticism and the fallout from her kids' accusations. An interview with her not long ago said, "I never wanted our family matters to be out there like this. But I can't get away from it, and it's breaking my heart." The publicity of these very private problems has not only put stress on the Lamb family, but it has also made many people wonder what the future holds for Daystar. People are losing faith in the organization, and claims of abuse, fraud, and betrayal of family members have come to light. This puts Daystar's once promising future in danger. The story keeps going, and it's clear that the Lamb family is at a turning point. It has not been easy, but Marcus and Joni Lamb's mission has left behind a long road of pain. We have stayed true to what God has called us to do. Check out all the proof as more and more is coming out. God has taught us a lot over the last few years, and we've had to go through some really hard things. But there's a reason God gave us this proof, so I really want you to look at it instead of just going with your gut or what you hear, Jonathan said. It's been a long road of suffering, but eventually God brings all things to light. This time, after giving everyone involved much time for repentance, the time has finally come to shine the light of truth on the situation. Ephesians 5:11 states, "Take no part in the worthless deeds of evil and darkness, but instead expose them." And Matthew 10:26 states, "For a time is coming when everything that is covered will be revealed, and all that is secret will be made known to all." So that's exactly what we're going to be seeing here in the next week or two as these articles come out, Jonathan added. I pray that God will cleanse the body of Christ and be praised and honored through a process of repentance. This will give people who have been silenced a chance to speak out and be righted. Revelations 12 is now overshadowed by a string of scandals and accusations that have shaken Daystar to its core. The network used to be a sign of Christian faith and honesty, but now it's in chaos, and no one knows what will happen next. The things Joni Lamb has done in the last few years show that she has forgotten the values that used to guide her, her family, and her mission. The claims of wrongdoing with money, mental abuse, and deception are very different from how Daystar started out, and they could undo all the hard work that has been done over the years. Witnessing their mother change into someone they no longer know has been very painful for Jonathan and Susie. They must feel like they have no choice but to speak out, even though it hurts them to do so. Jonathan said, "This isn't about us trying to put down our mother. This is about the truth. It's about holding her responsible and protecting the legacy our father built." The Lamb family is still trying to heal and start over, and Daystar's future is still unknown. Will these crimes be enough to bring down their ministry, or will this be the end of a once great one? We still don't know the answers, but one thing is for sure. Joni Lamb's actions have changed the course of her family's history in a way that can't be changed back. The effects will be felt for years to come.